plays through text message play, and don't confuse in-game wagering with halftime wagering, right?
Yes.
In-game wagering is a constant moving line, which many times is almost impossible to grab, right? You'll see a line, you go to bet it, it's off the board. It comes back, you go to bet it, it's off the board. You finally get it, and then it's -3, -165, just ridiculous stuff like that. Your halftime wager is a static wager, right? So once you put that in, that's your bet's in. You don't have to worry about a moving line, or it's just a separate bet. It's a whole separate game, the second half, and that's what it's based off of.
Yep.
It's a much better play than the in game, in my opinion.
Absolutely, because it's got nothing to do with what. And a perfect case, guys, was last night. If you were watching the Wake Forest North Carolina game, Wake Forest destroyed North Carolina in the first half, 21-0. But that had absolutely zero to do with what happened in the second half, as North Carolina came storming back in that situation there and dominated the second half. So it was nearly a pick'em during the second half line. I think it was it was a half a point one way or the other, but it was 21-0. That second half wager had absolutely nothing to do with what happened in the first half of that game, nor did anything that happened in the first half of the game resemble what you saw in the second half. So keep in mind, forget in-game wagering. You're not backing anything to do with the full game results. The only thing in a second half wager you guys are interested in is what happens in that second half. And that's, like you said, Scott, that's so important for people. They mix up like, well, I don't understand, but they won by 7. It doesn't make a difference what the final score is. It only matters what the score is in the second half between the two teams.
Right. That's exactly right. It's a brand new game, second half. So full game. I mean, I don't want people to misunderstand. The first half does mean something as far as statistics are concerned for us, but score-wise, it means nothing. It's a 0-0 game starting in the second half, and that's what that line is based off of, right?
Yes,
so
exactly.
Again, so Illinois right now is minus. It doesn't matter; they're down 6 as far as the score is concerned. The second half, it's 0-0 right now. Illinois has to win by 4 points or more only in the second half.
Yep,
not
only
the game.
In the second half. Only exactly correct. One thing has got nothing to do with the other. So
they could still lose this game and still cover the spread second half. Right.
Exactly.
They're down 6.
Yep.
Right, exactly.
Yeah, they don't have to worry about that, and neither do you. All you have to worry about is the play. Is what are they going to cover in the second half, and that's all you're concentrating on. So really, we're breaking down games, guys. You've got the full game bet that you can have. You have of course, we already know you guys can bet first half without seeing anything. And, of course, you can bet in-game during the whole game. But this here, second half, yeah, it's its own bet. It's its own animal. It's its own everything, taking the information and the data. And it becomes even more prevalent during basketball season when you can actually watch a game and you can see for yourself, like, man, this team they couldn't hit water if they fell out of a boat. Like, a star gets hurt, and then you're stuck with a full game line going, yeah, but I bet this thinking they were going to have all their players. Same thing here, Scott. It doesn't really make a damn bit of difference. Once you make the play full game, no matter what happens in the first half, you can't do anything about it.
Right. Yeah. I mean, that's the thing. The halftime wagering, you can see if there are injuries, in the first half, and that's adjusted. You can adjust for that too, because again, a lot of times, most times, the sports books don't take that into consideration either. I mean, If it's a star player, yes. But that's about the only time. I mean, if it's a decent player, there is no adjustment whatsoever, and that's another edge. I mean, you can just sit around and wait for injuries.
Yep.
You're going to maybe get a couple in a whole afternoon, but that's another edge because it's just the sports books do not adapt to these second half lines, and that is the most powerful edge that you can possibly have.
Yep, it so is, guys. And third quarter now getting underway. Although Penn State-Pittsburgh, Scott, I don't know if you've been following that game there. Penn State, 17-point favorite there. Kind of a revenge spot for Pittsburgh, who got their asses whooped last year by Penn State. Threw up a 50-burger on them. But Pittsburgh right now, 10-7. They're not necessarily scared in Happy Valley there in Penn State, no less. It's a whiteout there, but Pitt's holding their own, 10-7. What are the numbers telling you on your end there at Halftimemagic?
I'm trying to see what's this full game line. What was the total for it? 53. Yeah, 17.5 and 53. It's looking underish to me right now. I gotta confer with my guys, but it's looking. Let's see what it comes in at. I mean, so if we're at this, we'll see how close I can guess this, right? So it's 53 first half.
Mm-hmm.
You're looking at probably half of that second half. So you're looking right around probably between 24 and 26 will be the second half line.
Right.
Again, it has nothing to do as far as the sports books are concerned, with what is going on real time. It has to do with they're trying to match it up with their cookie cutter full game line. So
Right.
again, that's where the edge is. So if we're looking at anything over 24, 25, I think it may be an actual official play as well for the under.
All right, keep an eye on that. About 20 seconds left to go there, guys. Pittsburgh, Penn State. Pitt, if you took the if you took the 17 points, congratulations, because right now it's 27-7, and it's pretty good. Penn State just they do have the ball there on the Pitt 30. I don't know whether or not that means they're going to score, but they haven't done a really good job in the first half as it's getting ready. It doesn't look like they're 4th and 16 on the Pitt 39. It doesn't even look like they're going to try a field goal here. So that's it, 10-7 at the half. Let's see what that line comes in, guys, live here, halftimemagic.com. Scott joining us because we're trying to get you and hammer home the point, guys, of second half wagering and the opportunity and the edges that it provides for you. And Scott, it does provide crazy edges for the sports bettor. Because, listen, you can play the pregame lines all you want, first half. You can – if you're betting a game live anyway in-game, it's probably because you're crunching in front of the TV anyway, and that's – you're focused on that game, right, Scott? So what happens with all the other games, right, like that you're not watching or that you can't concentrate on, because you can't bet in-game – live during a thing and have your mind and your focus on 12 other games. It's just not it's not reasonable, it's not feasible, it doesn't make any sense. So knowing that I can get alerted while I'm concentrating on a game or two, and then I get the alerts to come in and say, all right, this is what I'm playing at the second half, boom, then that's what you want to do. You want to maximize your return on investment. The more eyes and ears you got working for you, the better off you are.
Right, exactly. I mean, we do everything for our players, right? So it's we crunch the numbers, we put all the plays. I mean, and that's how you want to wager. You want to wager where you have edge. You don't want to wager just to wager. I mean, some people want to play just and they don't care if they lose. I mean, I'm not one of them. When I put my hard-earned money down, I want to win, and I hope that's how most people are. If they're not, then I'll gladly take some of their action myself. But yeah, I mean, right. We're in this to make money, right? I mean, it's fun to watch a game, but it's not fun to lose money. So, if you're going to be putting money down, you want to have, the edge on the sports books, and there is no bigger edge out there than second half wagering.
Absolutely not. And Halftime Magic, guys, is where you go. It's so simple right there, halftimemagic.com. Go to the packages page, get signed up, do it now, start getting the alerts. You still got plenty of games getting ready to kick off, getting ready to go to halftime. All you have to do is go to halftimemagic.com. Tail them on Twitter, too, always dropping in free second half plays. But you better monitor it. That's why it's important to tail them, because the plays are coming, and they're coming hard, and they're coming fast, guys. 8 to 12-minute windows at halftime. Head over to halftimemagic.com and get it going. And shame on me, too, by the way. Here we are making fun of Illinois, and yet we're shading towards them. But I said Penn State, no way they're going to attempt a field goal, right? 57 Yeah, they kicked it. 57-yard field goal is good. Penn State is going into the half tied 10-10. And like Scott said, perfect example here. You're expecting this total for the second half based upon the first half line. What are you expecting this to come in at? About 24, 25?
Yeah, that should be right around there. I hope it's higher. I hope it's right at halfway point of the full game line of 53. Okay. So I'm hoping we're seeing 26 and a half. That would be great. I don't see it being less than 24, 25. So we'll probably put that out as a play. I don't see these teams lighting it up second half based on their stats.
No.
I would love to put out Pittsburgh because I know they're going to be a double-digit, close probably between 7.5 and 10-point underdog second half, but I'm just not seeing it on their end as far as what we look at. It's it's pretty much tough. And that's the other thing people need to realize too. I mean, like these blowout games, the line has to be in your favor as well. So you see a team that's dominating. Yeah, wow, Ohio State's going to crush them second half. Well, yeah, but then they're 7.5-point favorites. So you can't just bet a game because a team looks good. The line also has to be in your favor, right? So it does you no good to be laying 7.5, 10 points It's just there's no edge there, right? You want to find a game that the team looked like they dominated, and then you're getting points the second half, and that's kind of what we do, right? We don't put out obvious plays that just dominated. And if they're given 10 points, there's no edge there. Anybody can do that.
Zero, absolutely zero edge. And again, that's the important part, guys. The plays that are going to be coming out from Halftime Magic, they're not coming out just because they got nothing better to do and, ooh, we want to play a game. It's a very specific parameters that you guys are putting in there, and that's what it is. You get notified because, listen, the numbers work, and if you haven't figured it out already, guys, it's a market. Like, sports betting is a market. It's no different than buying damn soybean futures. I mean, it's buy low, sell high, Scott. So the whole point of the sports investing market is it is an investment. You want to be able to get the right number, not just any number because you think, oh, they're going to kick their ass. That's not really a great betting philosophy or a great long-term betting strategy.
Right. I mean, it's just like when you go to the store, if you need something, you don't just go and pay anything for it because you need it. I mean, you find the best price, right? It's the same thing with betting. I mean, you got to find lines that you have an edge in, and you gotta be selective in your plays, right?
Yep.
You don't, again, we talked about it 100 times. You don't play games just because they're on TV. If you're trying to make money, and you don't just play every game on the board because you want action. You got to wait for your spots, and then you pummel, then you jump on them.
Yep.
But again, I mean, there's so many things that, and again, as more and more states legalize this, there's going to be so many more newbies that they'd be well served to listen to your show on a daily basis, because there's so many bits of gambling advice that can save them years of agony, years of losing money until they finally get it. That it's just not necessary with all the information that we provide. You can hit the ground running and make money immediately.
And we get it, guys. Like, listen, you got a job, you got a life, you got a wife, you got kids, you got a girlfriend, you got all these things going on, and you don't necessarily have the time to start figuring out algorithms and, spending the 30, 40, 50 hours a week handicapping games across sports. But you know what? Doesn't mean that you can't invest your money and you can't get a little action and you can't profit. But it all starts with getting the right people in your corner. Knowledge is power. We say that all the time. This is an area of sports betting that's not talked about a lot, but it is utilized by, and the only people I've ever met, Scott, that actually utilize second-half wagering, and it's the only thing they do, is professionals, is guys that do this for a living, guys that are spending the time, but they only look at second halves because they feel the biggest edge in the whole betting circle is the second half wagering and the opportunity, because the markets don't adjust accordingly most of the time.
Right. And again, that's second half wagering is the most powerful edge out there, and the markets don't adjust, and they're not adjusting, not yet anyway. I think we've got about a 3 to 5 year window before sportsbooks actually start paying attention to this type of wagering, just because there's going to be so many people playing and pummeling them that they're finally going to figure it out. But yeah, it's again, why would you play off paper stats when you can see the actual interaction of these teams to see what's really happening, right? It's just common sense.
We got a line, by the way, for Pittsburgh. Penn State came in at 26. I'm looking at with our friends at uwager.lb.
Right?
What's that?
Exactly what we said.
Exactly. Yeah, it wasn't going to be lower than 24, but it was going to be somewhere around probably exactly close to half of what the full game line was.
Right. It's not like we're some psychics. We just know that's what sportsbooks do. They put out about half of the game line, and that it's right around there, and that's where the edge is. You get the line that doesn't match up with the stats, and then you pounce.
That's correct. Exactly it. So now, what are you doing there, the guys at Halftime Magic? Are they looking at this? Is this a borderline play for them?
That is a play. It actually just spiked up to 27 on the site I'm looking for. So yeah, I just actually sent it out. You should be getting that any
there it is.
Second now.
Yep, there it is. All right, and it's
jump
actually
on it right
spiking.
now. It's up to 27 as well. So
okay. So Pittsburgh, Penn State under, guys, under the 27 that you're going to get in the books right now. That's where you guys should be. You should be looking right now, under the 27. That's the play. And again, they come out right there on the phone, guys. All you have to do is, when you sign up, is provide a cell phone number. The texts come out. You saw that instant time. It just went as we were talking. It just went to halftime. He actually told you what to anticipate the line of coming out and what it was going to do, and it's doing exactly that. So right now the under is the play on Pittsburgh and Penn State, second half. And when you go to your books, guys, and when you're signing up, whether it be you wagered or whatever, the second half of it's its own tab under there. It's not, first, second, third, fourth quarter, like, oh, is it that? No, it's second half. Look for the second half line, and then that's what you'll have ready to rock and roll. So it's amazing how that works, isn't it, though, man? Isn't it amazing how it shows up there? It's literally cookie cutter, guys. That's how it works for going to invest in the resources and the energy to try and beat, sharps that already know what the hell they're doing anyway. It's like they're almost like, all right, but if it gets to the point where Joe Public starts to jump on the second half, then we might, but that ain't going to happen overnight. We're still years away from that being a possibility.
Right. I mean, again, you're exactly right. They let their sharps do their thing because they know for every sharp there's 100 sucker bettors out there that are going to cover that sharp's play and then some. So you're right. Until the general public starts to pounce on it and start hurting the sports books, it'll stay the same, right? And again, I'm giving it, my guess is about a 3 to 5 year window before they actually employ someone to monitor these games and stats and actually make real adjustments instead of just putting up a cookie cutter line that's just ripe for the taking.
Yes, it exactly is, man. So, all right, guys, that's it. I mean, we've got it. You've got some plays here. You got enough information to be absolutely dangerous. We just gave you Pittsburgh, Penn State under second half, 27. Jump on that. We also previously had given you Kansas State, by the way, getting what was the under in that Kansas State, Mississippi State? Trying to remember.
Kansas State was getting 3.5.
3.5, yes, 3.5. Exactly. They were getting 3.5. We liked this game. We also liked, I believe, Miami of Ohio getting 7.5. The Temple, Maryland game makes 0 sense. 7-2. Illinois -4 in the second half. They've just, they look, again, head-scratcher with Illinois and Lovey. So I don't know how much longer that's going to last, that relationship. But 23-17, Eastern Michigan still and about 4 minutes gone in the second half. So that's the concept, guys. Second half wagering. There's an edge to be had. There's an edge for you to be had. All you have to do now, take advantage. Go to halftimemagic.com. It's so simple. Halftimemagic.com. Go to the packages page. Select a package. I mean, dive in it. Even if they want to do it just for a weekend, Scott, and they can get the hang of it. You know what I mean? Very rarely have you seen somebody, get in for the weekend and then be like, oh, I'm not going to do this again. It just doesn't happen because it's over the long term of a season, especially with basketball coming up. It's one of the most profitable systems in play, guys. You will love halftimemagic.com. Yeah, there's absolutely no reason.
You pay a daily for the daily plays today. It's $25, and we'll give you all the rest of today, all of tomorrow, Monday Night Football. So you get 3 days for $25, and it'll be well worth it. We can promise you that. So
3 days, $25, guys. You'll get every play rest of today, tomorrow, the NFL, Monday Night Football. Go do it. I'm telling you right now, you will absolutely you will be counting the money. You'll be laughing as you're doing this, going, wow, I didn't even realize this. And you may, and we're warning you, caveat, you may never play a full game line again. Just saying, you may never, ever play a full game line. It's maybe the biggest caveat here of this, Scott, with you guys at Halftime Magic. You may never look at a full game anymore. You don't even want nothing to do with it.
We certainly don't. I mean, it literally feels like you are just giving a complete edge to the sports book. Right. When you're playing a full game, it's just they have the edge over you, and that's why these lines are so close all the time. Like you see these final scores, you're like, wow, how did they know that? How did they know it? Right? When you bet second halves, they don't know it, and that's where the edge is. We were talking about it last week. These NFL lines are so spot on. Mm-hmm. You're basically flipping a coin. I mean, no matter when you take the line into consideration, you are flipping a coin. So you want to flip a coin, or do you want something that gives you substantial edge where we're historically over 58%, which is world-class handicapping. If you do a little research on it, you will see. Yep. If you're over 58% as a handicapper, you're making a lot of money.
Yep, a big-time money, guys. So do yourself a favor. If you do nothing else this weekend, head over to halftimemagic.com, guys. Check it out. I'm telling you right now, $25 will get you the rest of the weekend, including Monday Night Football. You get all the NFL games, all the rest of today's games, just second half. Plus, you'll have a boatload of fun. I'm telling you, you make the $25 back in one play. So it's going to be a lot of fun. We've already got plays on the board for you guys. Hopefully, you jumped on them and tailed them. Make sure you tail Scott and the guys at Halftime Magic at Halftime Magic on Twitter. And Scott, we appreciate the time as always, brother. It's a pleasure talking to you. Good luck for the rest of the day. I'll be looking for the alerts for the rest of the day. Get signed up, but good luck, man. There's a long day ahead of the guys in Mission Control over there at Halftime Magic. So stay hydrated, brother. Stay hydrated.
We will, definitely. We're looking forward to it. It's time to pounce, so hopefully we can make everyone a lot of money today.
Absolutely, guys. Get over there, halftimemagic.com. Good luck with your plays. Scott, we'll talk to you again next week. Thanks, brother.
Thanks, Joe. Appreciate it.